Today we are going to learn next, or we can say almost last phase of this chapter, and the last topic is the classification of business activities. As you can see, there are mainly three activities under the classification of business, that are trade, commerce and industries. What we are going through it one by one with meaning and characteristics and all the basic necessities per given in your textbook. The meaning of trade, and point number one. Okay, why it is necessary to first of all classify the business activity? Because business activities are so widely happen in all over the world that you must categorize each and everything. If you not, then the chaos will be there. What type of chaos? You cannot define the particular way of your transaction with particular type of business activities. And if you cannot allocate your type of business within these three categories, then it is not under the category of business at all. If you want to do business, you can do business under only three categories. That's why this classification is necessary, that each and every type of business activity are covered under all these three different heads. Okay, what are the heads? We are going one by one after some basic concept regarding business activities. So what are the basic concepts we need to understand for business activities? As we have already discussed in the last lectures, business activity are the first of all economic activities. So all the activities covered under these three head must be the economic activity. Then we have already discussed that business is only done for the purpose of profit. So all the three categories must have a motive of profit, and there must be risk factor in business. So these three categories must have these three basic characteristics of business. First, economic activity. Second, motive of profit. And third one is the risk factor. All these three, trade, commerce and industry, must consist these three basic characteristics of business. Unless and until these three characteristics are present in this all the three categories, you cannot say it is a business. It might be employment, it might be profession, but if any of the three factors is missing, you cannot say it is a trade, it is a commerce, or it is an industry. So we see one by one. First topic is the trade. What is the meaning of trade? Meaning, each and every person right now seeing this video are having experience one way or another of trade. If you go and go to the stationery shop, if you go to the kirana store or provision store, then you face the activity of businesses of the nature of trade. If one person purchase ready-made goods to sell it further to the customer, I am repeating, if one person purchase the goods, say for example, purchase goods from wholesaler to sell the goods to the customer by adding profit in exchange of money, then it is covered under the trade activity. What does a businessman do? A stationery store or a provision store person do? He purchases wholesale goods and sell to the retail customer, and there will be some margin of profit in between the purchase and selling of that particular product. So the trading activity is the most simple and basic activity of the business that you can see all around us. There are lots of for the trading activity, like we can say we can classify trade with the certain characteristics, and you can understand which type of shop nearby you are covered in the trade activity. And then same way we will see the commerce and industry. So there are 8 characteristics given in your textbook. We will see one by one and understand what is the trade activity. and you should give me example in the comment box that we have encountered with so number of trade activity nearby our society or street or whatever area you live. So first topic is trade is an economic activity. As we already discussed, all the three activities must be economic activities. There are two parties in trade, purchaser and seller. Already we have discussed in the meaning. One person purchase good and sell. One person is a purchase good, so from wholesaler, and the same goods are sold to the customer. So who is the purchaser and who is the seller in the trading activity? Customer like us are the purchaser of the goods, and shopkeeper like provision store, stationery store are the seller of the goods. So there must be at least two parties, customer and shopkeeper, or we can say purchaser or seller. Then exchange is essential in trade, exchange of goods and services against money. Exchange of goods and services. You have already studied in the barter system, standard 10, I think, history. There are certain type of trade activities of goods and services against some other goods and services. If one person wants some wheat and he possesses rice, then he exchange wheat and rice. So this type of activities happens, and that is the problem, and that is the reason why money is invented actually. The barter system is the reason for the invention of money. So here in the trade, the exchange must be present, exchange of goods and services against money. Either it can be goods or it can be services. That must be exchanged between purchaser and seller against payment of money. This must be the third characteristics. All these characteristics must be present in your example. You have to give in the comment all these characteristics. Number 4. In trade, transfer of ownership of goods and services are done. Transfer of ownership of goods and services. If I am selling a TV, I am a TV showroom guy, and selling a TV to a customer, then the ownership of that particular TV I am selling to the customer must be transferred from me to him or her. So the ownership transfer must be there in trading activity. If you purchase a Balaji wafer from a provision store, the ownership of as and when you pay 10 rupees and he give you a packet of a Balaji wafers, the ownership of that Balaji wafers packet is converted to you now. You can do whatever. You can eat it, you can sell it further, you can donate it, or you can throw it away as you want. So that is your ownership goods, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. So transfer of ownership is 4th point. 5th point. In exchange of goods, either an amount is paid or goods are exchanged. Either it must be in against goods or against money. Either barter system or right now we are using monetary exchange system. This either of the two things must be there. You can give goods against some other goods. You can barter with the guy you want, or you can do simple transaction with the help of money. We are doing nowadays. 6th one. Trade is a continuous activity. Okay, it is not like that you have purchased 1 or 2 pieces of TV and you sell it to your friend circle and earn some profit. So it is not a trade activity. You have to do it regularly. You have to have a particular place, one can say a showroom, and you have to purchase lots of amount of TVs and different type of companies. Customer must be there regularly, or shop must be open, or showroom must be open regularly. So it must be a continuous activity. Unless and until you have to face, if you have to face a financial crisis or some like thing, then you can close it and do some other activities, economic activity in pursuit of your boundaries. But unless and until you can earn profit regularly, you must continue it, and then it is called trade. It must be a continuous activity, not a temporary activity. So I have already given example. If you are selling to your friends, it is a temporary thing, it is not a permanent thing. If a showroom guy sell a TV to a friend without any profit, then also it is called a trade, because it is a continuous activity and certain transaction could be of loss. Not every transaction could be of profit. Certain transaction might be. You might have loss on certain transaction, but it must be a continuous activity. Next, seventh point, the value of goods or services is determined in terms of money. Nowadays it is compulsory. Value of goods and services must be determined in terms of money. If you cannot determine the goods, say for example, you cannot trade Taj Mahal. That monetary value of Taj Mahal is not defined at all. It is, you can say, a most valuable thing on the world, whatever on the earth. So you cannot define monetary value of particular thing. So you cannot trade Taj Mahal. You cannot purchase it from someone and sell it to some other. You cannot trade Taj Mahal and all such type of goods available on the earth. So monetary value must be defined of goods and services. And last, 8th point, trade is a legal activity. You cannot trade illegal things. You cannot say it is a trade. It might be possess all the characteristics of the trade, all the 7 other characteristics of the trade. But if it is not illegal, you cannot put that activity under the head of the trade. So these all are the 8 characteristics regarding the trade, and that's all regarding this trade as per your textbook. This is on page number 7 of your textbook. I am telling you in almost all the lectures that you can find all the textbook link under the description. If you not find, you can see the old videos, and if I forgot, you can comment me or message me on my WhatsApp number. Already you guys have in your WhatsApp group of school WhatsApp group, so you can message me over there also. And right now all the textbooks are available in the stationery stores in the market, so you can go and purchase the same. You need a textbook to study all these things in detail. You must have to read, you must have to memorize or prepare, because we are going to conduct some exams in the nearby future, might be within a month. So you have to be prepared. Okay. So these all are the trade activity. What is the meaning? Meaning is, if one person purchase goods and services to exchange that particular goods and services to some other person against the money, against exchange of money, with the exchange of money, and on a profit regularly, then it is called a trade activity under the business head. And that trade activity must possess 8 characteristics that, as we have discussed, I am going through shortly. It must be economic activity, 2 parties must be there, exchange is essential, in trade transfer of ownership must be there, it must be continuous activity, money is to be paid against goods and services, and value of goods and services must be determined in terms of money, and lastly it must be a legal activity. All the 8 characteristics must be present while you are defining the trade. So it is very small thing. Now commerce. Okay, we have already, we must know what does it mean by commerce. It is a wider term than a trade. So one by one we go through. Okay, there is one topic in your textbook before commerce, that is types of trade. The small topic is we have to discuss. There are basically 2 types. As I write, you can understand the same one. Internal trade. So what does it mean internal? It will be internal to some particular area. As I write the second one, you can understand the both. Second one is the international. So now you can understand what does it mean by internal. If it is international, and if it is internal, while we are writing international, then it must be within the country. So one is the within the country, one is outside the country. There are two types of trade is there. I am reading from the textbook only. One is given in the textbook. There are two types of trade: internal trade and international trade. It is explained here. Of internal trade, the explanation is given here. Trade among the different region within the boundaries of country is called internal trade. This is the definition. First line. So internal trade means within the boundary of the country. It's called internal trade. Then it is given here a trade example is given here. A trader of Ahmedabad purchased boxes of apple from Kashmir, or a trader of Nagpur sent oranges to Rajkot. These are the example of internal trade. So it is very much simple, as I have already read. And next paragraph is given from the viewpoint of the distribution. Internal trade is divided into two parts. So there is two parts, and I hope you all know these two things. One is these two things are here. One is, and second is. So I hope everybody know what does it mean by wholesale and what does it mean by retail. Wholesale trade and retail trade. There are two types of internal trade. Wholesale trade means a trader who purchases from the company and sells to the shopkeeper, and shopkeeper who purchases from the wholesaler and sells to the customer. So you need wholesaler, three parties to understand these two. One is company, one is wholesaler, and one is customer. So what does it mean by wholesale trade? A wholesaler purchases from company and sell to the retailer. I am repeating once again. Wholesale trade, wholesale purchase from company and sell to the retailer. And then what does it mean by retail? Retailer sell from wholesaler and sell, purchase from wholesaler and sell to customer. Purchase from wholesaler and sell to customer. So this is the whole chain. So two types of internal trade. One is wholesale trade, second is retail trade. So I hope you understand each and everything given in your textbook. I am reading line by line. From the viewpoint of the distribution of trade, internal trade, it is divided into two parts: wholesale trade and retail trade. A wholesaler purchases goods in bulk from a producer, as I said, company, producer, and distribute them to the retailer as per his requirement. The wholesaler is connecting link between the producer and the retailer. And same as in retail trade, retailer purchases goods from wholesaler and supplies them to the customer as per their requirement. So these are all the types of internal trade, and now we are discussing international trade. It is simple. International trade between two countries is called international. The trade between two countries. Simple definition, shortest definition. Trade between two countries is known as international trade. Fine. International trade cross the boundaries of the countries. A Japanese example is given here. A Japanese company is selling television to Indian traders, or Kesar Meko being sent from India to USA are example of international trade. And there are three things are included in the international trade, which there is no explanation in your textbook, but I am explaining shortly. International trade consists of three different things. One is import, export, and re-export. So I hope you will know import and export, but what does it mean by re-export? Re-export is the thing in which the trader of a particular company does not have to worry so much unless and until the actual physical transfer of goods and money happens. Indian equity. Say for example, in re-export, trader, exporter, importer company of the India, one company who doing the export and import both the things. A company is importing the goods from particular company, say for example USA, and the same goods are needed to the company of Australia, and the order is received by that particular person in India, Indian company. So what does Indian company do? The goods imported from the USA directly sent to the Australia without receiving in India. So this is called re-export. So this type of things also happens in the business nowadays, but it is a quite complex thing right now to explain as well as understand. So right now in our syllabus only these two topics are covered, and it is also not here but in a later chapter, and it is also a basic level of concept. There are no such technical terminologies are explained in this particular two topics, import and export. It might be covered in economics rather in the 12th standard, until you have if you understand basic concept of import and export. What does it mean by import? Import means purchase goods from other country. If India purchases goods from say for example United Kingdom, then it is called import. And if India is selling the goods to the United Kingdom, then it is called export. So these are the basic examples. You can also explain this term with these two words, purchase and sale. But this purchase and sale happens from other country and to other. Purchase happens, we purchase from other countries, it's called import. We sell to another country, it's called export. So these are the basic thing explained in the international trade topic. So we have discussed the meaning of trade, 8 characteristics, and types of trade. There are 2 types, internal and external. Internal having 2, wholesale and retail, and international having import, export and re-export. So this all the details or story is given regarding the trade.